Hello, my beautiful, beloved, sacred masculines, and anybody else who finds their way to this channel. So grateful for your presence, and it has been a while. Oh my goodness. So, I think my last video it's been like 2 weeks now. So, I just got back into the country. I was on pilgrimage for like 2.5 months in Croatia and Greece and Bali. And wow, I'm back in the States now, and it always is an integration process. It's such a shift. So it's and then I got home and got back to, I was in Phoenix, where I had I lived full time in my little converted shuttle bus touring the country. And I got back to Phoenix, where she was stored, and we took off on our way to Flagstaff, and she promptly broke down. So we only made it a few hours. So that added to all the like jet lag and discombobulation and trying to integrate so much. It was just like, oh my gosh. So all of a sudden it was quite an adventure, let me say. But so I've just been in this little hotel room where I want to show you this, like, this bear picture. It's so sweet. I love it. And a kind of funny thing to have here. But I feel like it's kind of been watching over me. And I even came into my dreams a few nights ago. It was really lovely. Bear medicine for sure. So really powerful energy of that medicine. Where was I? As you can see, I'm still a little discombobulated. I've tried to make a video a couple of times, and it's just like not working. So like, quit trying to force this and just let it arise when it's time. But anyway, so I've been hanging out here in glorious Cottonwood, Arizona, which has turned out to be quite a lovely little place. Actually, I'm having quite a time. Found a really nice restaurant that I've been enjoying and having dinner at, and it prompted this video. My dinner last night, I had a conversation with somebody, some gentleman that I connected with there, and we were talking about spirituality, spiritual growth, our evolution, etc., 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 the spiritual path, spiritual journey. And he was very into the no mind thing. And we kind of had a discussion around that. And it's funny because he had written books on not resisting, the importance of not resisting and just allowing and being in the flow. And during that conversation, I felt like he had a real resistance to mind and how our mind shows up. And he was very into no mind. And I kind of, pushed back on that a little bit and had a conversation around that, and I could see him get really defensive around that. He's like, well, you have to be in no mind to allow flow. And I was like, that doesn't sound like a flowing energy. It sounds like a very resistant energy, So I kind of was looking at the duality of that, and the kind of there was more to explore there. So it just got me, and what I brought up to him was that for me, what I'm really passionate about is supporting us to integrate body, mind, and spirit, not negate any part of ourself. And this no mind aspect, and that's going to depend on, we talked about languaging a little bit, like what does that mean to you? What does no mind mean? We have a mind, and to try to negate the mind or get out of the mind, or shun and shame the mind, or say no mind, I feel like that's going to cause a lot of conflict and struggle and challenge, to try to go to no mind. And I know a lot of people that just say, oh, I can't meditate, because they think it's about like not being in the mind and turning the mind off and being in this silence and this peace and this. We have a mind. That's part of being a human. Like, we have a mind. So it's not about trying to escape the mind, just as like we shouldn't be trying to escape the body. And some traditions or some people get into those spiritual practices or that mindset, we're trying to transcend the body and escape the body. No, we came here onto this planet in a body to experience a body and to experience the planet through our senses and enjoy life through our senses. That's my view on it and my belief system. I know we've all got different belief systems, but that's just what has made the most sense to me, because trying to get out of the body, and I spent some time trying to do that too, to try to transcend and escape it, and feel like it was a higher place to be, not in the body. that was more spiritual somehow or more ascended. I don't know. But over the course of my journey, I've understood like, no, I want to be in the body. I love the body. The body's amazing. This is our sexual, sensual energies. It's all of our senses, all the ways that we get to explore and enjoy this gorgeous, beautiful world. So trying to say no body is just like, that's going to be a real challenge as well, because we're in a body here in this experience. There's other experiences where we don't have a body, but this one here in this timeline right now, we're in a body. We're in the 3D world. So let's embrace it and let's learn how to like really rock it out and enjoy it and have fun with it. And then the mind piece, and then, okay, so body, mind, spirit, it's like this holy trinity. If we negate any aspect of that, we're not whole beings. We're not having a whole experience. So it's just like shadows and light, our shadow side and our light side. We need to bring all of that in and integrate. If we go too far into the light, we're negating a whole piece of ourselves, and there's going to be a split. There's going to be compartmentalization. It's going to come out sideways, right? If we go too far into the shadow, we're going to have issues there as well. So for me, and what I'm talking about here on this channel, and just like the sacred feminine, sacred masculine, if we go too far in one direction, like we're experiencing with the patriarchal, there's an imbalance, and we're recognizing now that that's just not working for us. We've shut down a real big piece of ourselves. So for me, on this path, the sacred sexuality path, which is a spiritual journey for me, it's integrating all of these aspects of ourselves. And that doesn't mean like, as far as the mind goes, it's about, there's definitely like mind training in that sense, and not just monkey mind letting it go and run willy-nilly. It's learning how to clear out the unhealthy, limiting, conditioned, debilitating thought patterns and that are running our mind, that's kind of where we start. And that's when we recognize like, I can't live like this isn't healthy. We're spinning out anxiety, stress, just the negative things our mind wants to tell us, and on the repeat patterns. But that we don't want to just allow that to run our experience. But when we learn how to clear the mind, and I mean clearing it through like meditation, breath work practices, clearing those patterns and becoming conscious of those unhealthy patterns and belief systems and thought systems. And when we become conscious of them, then we can move them out and retrain and reframe and have a whole different experience with our mind and get it to work for us, bringing it into our experience. So again, body, mind, spirit, sacred feminine, sacred masculine, shadows and light, bringing it all in, all on our path, embracing our gorgeous, beautiful, complex, nuanced, intricate variety of human experience that we're here to have, so I just kind of wanted to bring that onto the path here, into the discussion, because I know that no mind thing is people can get really caught on that and stuck on it, and it feels like kind of a hard path to go on, again, and maybe whatever the terminology, maybe it means something different for you, but I just wanted to kind of open that up for some thought process, exploration, and contemplation, and how do you integrate body, mind, spirit, sacred feminine, sacred masculine, shadow and light? How do you bring it all onto your path and work with it in a healthy, harmonious way, and try to bring in some harmony and balance? And that's when we're centered in our hearts, when we have all of ourselves together on board, in alignment with our hearts. That's sexy. Yeah, and speaking of the sexual, sensual energy, right? Because that's the umbrella that we're here with, bringing our sexuality onto the path. We don't shun and shame that and compartmentalize that either. That is not separate from spirituality. Again, it's integrating all of the parts of ourselves, all aspects of humanity. Sexuality, our sexual and sensual energy, is huge. It's huge. And if we try to shun and shame that and push it aside, which we've largely been doing in this society, in this religious dominated society, that's really kind of perverted, shunned, shamed, distorted our sexual energy, repressed it, all the things. Look where we're at. Look what's happened. Look how disconnected we are from our bodies and from our sexual energy. Look how repressed we are. Look at how limited we are in our sexual expression. So, bringing that onto the path too, which is huge. It's just like, for me, that's our gateway in, right? There's many gateways onto the spiritual path, but for me, it's sexuality and our sensual energy, because it's such a huge piece. And it really, it just says so much about our experience when we start to understand how our sexual energy is flowing or not flowing. It says a lot about the rest of us, and we can move into ourselves through working with our sexual energy and our sensual energy, and starting to open that up for ourselves, looking at resistance, looking at repression, look at all the ways that we are not able to communicate, not even understand what our own needs are. How do we accept pleasure? How do we open to pleasure? And that doesn't mean having sex with everybody but it's a pleasure of the universe. It's a pleasure of life. How do we open more fully to that? And we will often discover where we are very repressed and locked in sexually and not allowing. That's how we're relating to the universe and life as well. We're not allowing in the pleasure. We're not allowing in the nourishment. We're not allowing in the bounty and the beauty and the abundance and the connection and the love that is here for us, that is just flowing. We're in resistance. We're in defensiveness. We're carrying trauma. We're carrying fear. We're carrying stuck, stagnant, blocked energy. And that's very much about, our sexual energy, because it's not just about having sex. I've said this so many times before. I hope we know that that's what we're talking about here. It's our vitality, our life force energy that flows through us. It's not the act of sex. It's the sexual energy, which is our life force energy. And it's huge. It's huge. And how it flows or doesn't flow really, what's the word I'm looking for? Dang it, I hate that. Really, it's what our experience is all about. Oh gosh, it's right there, but that's okay. That's okay. We're just going to let it ride. But really, we can learn a lot about looking at how our energy flows or doesn't flow, our sexual energy, and seeing how that explains so much of our life and how we navigate life, how we approach life, how we deal with life, how we don't deal with life, right? So anyway, that is what's going on for me. This is a little quickie today, so I will keep it short. Just wanted to bring that in for us to ponder and contemplate, and bring in the integration. It's so great to be here again and to be starting to feel a little bit like myself again. It's been a crazy past 2 weeks. It's been pretty hectic coming back in. So anyway. Like, comment, subscribe. Be sure to check out the rest of my YouTube channel for so much more to support you on your sacred sexuality journey. And of course, check out my website for tons more resources. And we have the upcoming pilgrimage to India, sacred sexuality, tantric pilgrimage to India, to really open it up for you. And when you're ready to deep dive in and really embrace this path. And that's in November, so coming up soon. Yay. All right, I'll talk to you soon, everybody. Bye.